Yeah, hi everybody. Just wanted to mention I've been reading the Gordon West book, and it's a good book and all that. I wish the book was a little bigger because it's kind of thick and it's hard to flip the pages. So I've been using the magnifier here. This I have to read with a magnifying glass. But I wanted to mention to you, it says here that I was probably a little too silly in the last video because it says here that you got your 3 amateur operating licenses issued by the FCC. Technician, also known as Uncle Charlie. Technician, General, and Extra. Each license requires progressively higher levels of learning and proficiency, and each gives you additional operating privileges. See, it's like a privilege, like driving a car on a road, that is. This is known as incentive licensing, the method of strengthening the amateur service by offering more radio spectrum privileges in exchange for more operating and electronic knowledge. So, I mean, that's a good point because you gotta know this stuff. And for instance, I'll give you for instance. Here, I'll give you a for instance here. Let's see here. Where am I looking here? Recently bookmarked. This guy here. Now, here's a guy here that's pretty serious about ham radio, and we all should be serious about ham radio. I think I was joking around too much in part 1, so this will be part 2. This guy here, Kilo 4 Victor Romeo Charlie, he made this website. I don't think he'll mind me showing this website because I don't know this guy, but it's a pretty good website. He talks about stuff that you may need to know when you get your extra license. Has a nice introduction, and the web page is just K4VictorRomeoCharlie.com, and it's one of his uploads. But he's talking about how he uses guide. That's pretty cool. He's made his own guide. He's talked about different supplies he might need. He says use the ARRL extra class license manual. That's good. Get yourself a calculator that can do trig functions. That's pretty important. About the math you're going to use. And talks about the different elements here that you could go through. It's pretty well thought out. I think that's pretty decent of this guy to do that. So it's good to take this serious because you have to safety. Like you're gonna put an antenna up, you gotta make it safe. And here he's talking about uncontrolled distance and controlled distance. Like the controlled distance is like in your house. The uncontrolled distance is kind of frying your neighbor across the fence there. And certainly your neighbor doesn't want like his hot dog cooked before he even puts it on the grill, if you know what I'm talking about. He doesn't want his chihuahua like turned into a taco or something. Yeah. And here you're talking about SARs here, exposure to human body. It's pretty good. Like this probably looks like my body right here. But you got a lot more exposure here at 2 gigahertz here, and it's kind of soaking into you there. And you got some kind of picture here. It looks like you got it from an airport or something like that. But the guy's taking it serious. He's talking about SARs, and you don't want to, kind of cook your neighbor next door. You don't want to cook yourself. So there's a lot of things. You want to be a good citizen, and you want to know this stuff because, like Gordon West said in his book, it is a privilege. And, you know, the smarter you get, the smarter you should be. So I just wanted to mention all that. And here's a question from the general license exam, and he talks about like the answer is D, but how can you determine that your station complies with FCC RF exposure regulations? And you know, if you go way back, way back, like I don't know, like 60, 70 years, they didn't even care about any of this stuff. I mean, they make the radios and stuff, and I mean they cared a little bit, but not like today. You know, because people know that cooking yourself with RF is not a good idea. This is probably one of the most important things I wanted to mention. Uh, and this guy wanted to mention it too. And by reading this, he made me want to mention it. You know, because I was a little too glib in the last video, and Anyway, you got A, calculating based on FCC OET Bulletin 65 by calculation based on computer modeling, by measurement of field strength using calibrated equipment. All these choices are correct. You know, he just wants to make sure that people understand that concept of RF safety, and that's an important topic. He's talking more about exposure limits here, density results. It's good to know all that. And this was on K4 Victor Romeo Charlie.com on one of his uploads, and it's his extra class exam study guide.pdf. So he's pretty good here. So gotta give this guy credit. He made a nice website here. Anyway, talk to you later, folks. Gonna go back to studying this book here, and like I said, I wish this book wasn't so. It'd be better if this book was bigger, because I mean you're almost like breaking the spine of the book here to keep it flat, because it's pretty thick. See, so it'd be better if he actually made a book. I know what he wanted to do. He wants to make all the books the same size, but there's more in the extra class book, so it's better if it was like bigger so you could keep it flatter. Anyway, folks, still a good book though. I ain't knocking his book. Take it easy, folks. Have a great day. Bye.